Yeah, good morning, all of you. I think whenever we are ready, we can start. We have 9 minutes to go before 11. So I think we'll just wait for some more time. Good morning, all of you. Jyoti from we are ready, we can start. 2 more minutes, we can start off. Some of you are wondering if my voice is audible. You can check with this if I am audible. Okay, very good. First of all, congratulations to Sai. Thanks to Sai for organizing this during the lockdown. Not only is it good because there's a lot of work, and but people are able to listen to people more and educate themselves. For me personally, what Sai is remarkably good, and congratulations to the entire team for putting it up, and especially for all the people who are working during these times of the COVID-19, whether it's or whether it's emergency staff or police. I think we should all thank them for the kind of effort they're putting in. They're nothing less than government people. They're nothing less than officials who are in the army and the police, because what the people are watching, what the health workers are doing and the police staff is doing is something really remarkable. From my side, I will spend today, the other day I spoke about physical literacy and sport. Today I will just go ahead and talk about some of my experiences in life. For me, badminton as a sport was not something which was planned really. As every kid growing up during the 80s, I started playing around 85, I'm 73. So when I was born in 85, when I went to the stadium around 85, actually to become a cricketer. Fortunately or unfortunately, admissions were not available, and I got into badminton almost because nobody else was playing badminton. But today when I look back, I look at all of it as destiny. For me, as most kids in my age community, Telugus, for us education and careers were only engineering and medicine. But for me, things took a turn over time, especially when I got my job in Tata Steel in 1991. That's when my career actually had started. I'm just mentioning it as a point because we don't know where destiny can get us. For me, Prakash sir, who's been the icon for all of us, has been a huge motivation. But never ever growing up did we ever think that we can emulate what he has done. Win a tournament like the All England, something which we never thought we would become. But as and when each step went by, it seemed possible that the next step to climb is possible. And that is how that's how I started playing and started moving one step at a time, and that is how things were. I think some of you are complaining that I'm not visible. I don't know how I can sort this issue out. Maybe I'll just move in a little closer. I hope, Deepa, that's fine. Okay. So for me, sport has always been about playing well and winning for the longest period of time. But something happened much later in my career which changed my entire perspective of sport. I was close to a young kid and she dropped the shuttle. And I was a bit annoyed why she couldn't even catch a shuttle and how poor she was in her physical ability, to the point where I didn't even want to spend time with her. Till the time I went back to my office and she came up and asked, "Sir, teach me how to catch." And that for me was a big shock, because I never expected that I would have to answer something like this. That made me think about a lot of things in sport. And today when I speak about sport, there is something which I actually think. Am I not yet visible? Maybe I'll just catch the phone. Some better. Is this any better? So for me, sport is having a very different meaning today than it has ever had before. Because I've seen champions over time, and everybody who has played sport understand that winning is fun. Winning is really enjoyable. But over years, whether it's sport or studies or business, winning has become our primary objective of deciding success. And probably time we need to relook at that model. Winning doesn't necessarily mean success. Because I've seen many champions who are winning, but if you ask me, are they successful? Yes, maybe on paper, on performance, they are. The champions who have broken individuals, who are winning, but the winning hasn't really translated into clarity. So it's very important that in a society where winning seems to be very, very important, and winning at all costs taken as the most important, acceptable to have winning at all costs. I think we need to relook at that model. Because success in sport doesn't necessarily, because of the combination of work, discipline, and attributes of fighting spirit or mental strength or all of these things. There is an element of genetics in it. There is luck which is involved, facilities which is involved. I believe that achieves his objective of being the best of what he can or she can be physically. And that for me is a very, very important thing. Every kid trying to be the best or she can be is very important. And success for me is kids who achieve their potential. If somebody's potential is to run the 100 meters in 15 seconds and he or she achieves it, that is success. Whereas somebody who can run in 12 seconds, runs in 12.5 is not success, even though he or she is winning. In a society like ours, it probably is difficult to talk this language because you could be shunted out like a communist or a yogi. But I guess so human potential is what we need to really look at. And as coaches, I think if you're able to push this objective of each one trying to be the best of what he or she can be, that would be very helpful. Winning at all costs, as a culture, we need to look at, especially because in these times, especially with lockdowns, and probably we don't know what world sport would be in the future. But I think each one to be the best of what we can be is the best what we can actually ask for. For me, I've been very fortunate in my life that my parents have really supported me all through. And my understanding of life has a lot to what I've learned from them. But today, when I look back, my career as a player, as a coach, I think I've been very fortunate that I had a coach called Hamid Hussain sir, who was the best grassroots coach I could have had. Arif sir, who was the best coach who could teach me discipline and hard work. Prakash sir, who could really be an inspiration at the time to see him and believe that we could achieve big things in life. And then Ganguly Prasad as a friend and somebody who understood sport to really help out in the last few years of my village. Also, I was very fortunate to be with a couple of Chinese coaches who really learned and showed I could learn and see from them what world-class training could be. For me, my post-badminton career, playing-wise, has been very interesting because all my life, we've struggled with very, very simple things. And maybe the millennial kids would find it difficult to understand, but I'm sure coaches would understand that for us, shuttles were very difficult. So I remember when I went to play internationally first time, people would say Indians have such good half smashes and net shots. It's such a beauty. And I was laughing inside to tell them that when you get one shuttle to play for many kids, and the guy who hits hard is actually removed from playing the next game. So everybody figured out ways to take points without harming the shuttle. And that's how Indians became good at stroke play and soft play, because nobody wanted to hit the shuttle hard. And that's how my childhood. We've played more football than badminton growing up because shuttles were so scarce. We would go to the court and current was not there, watchman nahi aaya, shuttle nahi hai, players nahi hai. These are the challenges we've had. We'd go to the ground, शादी हुआ है, political function हुआ है, stadium बंद है क्योंकि 3-3 महीने ballot boxes रखे हैं. This is the kind of things which were actually happening when we were growing up. But still, with all these challenges, we managed to pull out something and win at the world level. But when I came back to India, I realized that there's so much more potential in our country that if only we can give them the right facilities, we can actually get some good players. And that's how my playing career was stopped and my coaching career had started. In this, I have a very dear friend for the last 20 years, Pradeep Kumar Ramancharla, who's been a real guide for me. And I remember things which he had said initially, before my coaching had started, is Gopi, if you want, and this was very important for me, an advice which I really gave me a lot more clarity. He said, Gopi, if you're 6 feet tall, and if you want a bed which is 7 feet or 8 feet, just ask for it. There's nothing wrong in having a bed which is good for your needs or luxurious for your needs. But to actually want a bed which is bigger than your neighbor's bed is something which will always see you in problems. And that for me was very, very important advice. Because for many of us, especially for kids, for coaches who join young, for people who come out of school and college, we really don't know what we want. We ask people, what do you want? Then they would say, we want a good salary. And we can ask them, what is a good salary? People won't know. A good salary cannot be more than the neighbor's salary. If that is the case, then we'll always be depressed in life. To have contentment, it is important that we decide what we want. We cannot have contentment with an empty bottom vessel. A pot which is bottom at the empty can never get filled. I think it's very important that we start to decide what we want, and that stability is very, very important. For all of us, I think that singular perspective is what is needed when we get out of youth, when we get out of school and college, when we start working. What we want in life is something which is very important. We've been asked, people would ask, what are you talented? What is talent identification? And I've mentioned this, and I would like to mention it again, that it's our duty to ensure that we believe that each single individual is talented. And we need to look at people and say, where is his talent? The structure of sport is such that people have to believe that they will be the best in the world when they start off with. But all of us know that the rate of failure in sport is far higher than any other fields. There's only, in many fields, there could be only one athlete who's representing the country at the Olympics. Say if you're a wrestler or a boxer, you know that there's only one slot for you to represent. And if you sometimes end up having an athlete who's experienced or who's very good in the field, then in all your life you might never get a chance to play for the country. But to keep trying as an athlete is very, very important. And on a day when you're not successful, to let go of it is also very important. So I'll share this example with you. I remember, I think many of you probably have seen this photograph of me with Sindhu during the match or during the Olympics after the finals. So my post-semi-final match, when she came up to me, my advice to her was, forget about the semi-finals. You have to prepare for the finals and get finished with your match quickly, your press conference quickly, and then we will actually prepare for tomorrow's match. And immediately after she lost the finals, the advice was that the last 1 week and the last few months have been great for us. You forget about the loss in the finals and don't think of this as a loss of the gold medal, but think of it as you're winning the silver medal. There is a fundamental difference in how you see things. We can have players who've played the sport and who've won a district level. When they go out of sport, it is important that they feel that they've achieved something rather than they've not been successful at a state level. So everybody needs to understand that when we are in the field, when they are in the sport, when we are in the effort, it should never be less. Even if you are a world champion, you should become to be better than everybody else, even more. Even if you've won many national titles and many world champions, you should still try to be the best for many, many more years to come. But if you are somebody who is actually a district first round loser, also it is important that when you leave the sport, you have to feel satisfied with what you have achieved. That satisfaction when you're outside the field is important. That burning and hunger is important. Both are very important things. And you have to put this thing very, very clearly. When you're on the field, you have to give it your best, no matter who you are, how much ever champion you are. When you're off the field, whatever little you've achieved, you have to be satisfied with it. You don't want people at home, your family members, crying, सर मैं जीतना था, मुझे जीतना था. कोर्ट के बाहर ऐसे लोग हमें चाहिए नहीं. घर में ऐसे दोस्त हमें चाहिए नहीं. घर में घर वाले ऐसे नहीं चाहिए. हमें ऐसे दोस्त नहीं चाहिए जो हर बार रोते रहे. और हमें फील्ड में ऐसे लोग नहीं चाहिए जो अपना कॉलर ऊपर करे और उनके आंखें सर पे बैठ जाए और बोले कि हम चैम्पियन हैं, हम तो बहुत जीत चुके हैं, आप कौन होते हमें सिखाने वाले. ऐसे चैम्पियन हमें चाहिए नहीं और ऐसे दोस्त और घर वाले हमें चाहिए नहीं. वी नीड पीपल who on the field are burning to, are hungry to, are thirsty for achieving more and more. And we want people who are outside, who are good people, who are people who are satisfied, who are happy, who are relaxed, and who help others. The competition has gone to such a level that मैं बाजू वाले को धक्के मार के गिरा, फिर भी मुझे जीतना है, कर रहा है फिर भी मुझे जीतना है. I think these are the ones. It's very important that winning at all costs is not necessary for us in society. For us, good character more than good features. To have, if you have power, if you are in a position of power, to be able to do justice to everybody. If you have fame and if you are a celebrity, to be a role model for society. If you are thinking of health or food, then the first thought which should come is health. I think these are few things which are very important for all of us. Money versus relationships, we should be able to choose relationships. I think these things are very, very important for all of us. As a society, we know that as coaches, we are in a position to influence people much more than anybody else. Every parent would believe that sir आप बोलेंगे तो एक बार में सुन लेगा, हम बोलेंगे तो नहीं सुनेंगे. I think we need to look at that, and that is very, very important. We have this position as coach which we've got because of some good karma we've done in the past. Otherwise, to be able to influence such long people is not possible across sport. So for me, over the years, I've always thought that coaching is something which I'm really happy to be in. As a coach of elite players, we have to deal with a lot of ups and downs. But what I've realized is that we do not need to do 100% right to win medals or to get performances. But we need to give it 100% of what we can give. And that is what the game changer is. I remember Abhinav, who would say two things which he says, which are very, very good for me, which I keep remembering. One is the Olympics doesn't come once in 4 years. It comes every day. And that is a statement which I believe is so true, because we need to train like we are playing the Olympics every single day. And that is very important. And is for tournaments, we won our first medal in 2012, or when Sindhu won the medal in 2016, we didn't have any fancy gadgets. We didn't have psychologists, physiologists. We didn't have vision therapists, DNA testing. We didn't have any of it. But we gave it all we have. Abhinav had a lot more resources, and he gave it all he had. He had about 8 or 9 people who were working with him as a team. and we had not the same resources. But what is important is that Abhinav gave it all he had. And when I see players and coaches who give all they have, you realize that great performances do happen. And that for me is very important. It's not how much you have, it is whether you've given it all you have. And that is very, very important. For me, sport is about the process. And for me, it is very, very important. Just a minute, please excuse me. Today, we as a society are very goal-oriented. And that, for me, is a problem. Growing up, I've had an ACL tear when I was 19 years old. I had another surgery when I was 21. When I was 23, I had another surgery on my left knee, 3 knee surgeries on my left knee when I was 19, 21, 23. And after I won the All England, I had another surgery on my right knee and about 3 multiple fractures on my foot. And during all this time, I never could train as people would say. So I never took out a book and wrote things as though that this is my 3-month goal, 6 months, my rankings, my tournaments, my winning. I never wrote those things. But what I wrote in those books was I should get up at 4 in the morning. I should do my yoga in the morning. I should do my in the morning. I should get up and do my Yog Nidra. I should do my meditation. I should do whatever best I can do today. And when you do that, over time, that becomes the goal. The process is the goal. And the process being the goal will take care of the goal by itself. You don't have to think of having short-term, medium-term goals, no. Get up in the morning and say, this day I will do the best of what I can. And you will be able to sleep well in the night if you have done well by training well, by playing smarter, by eating well, eating right. I think that's all. It's important. For all of us, we've been a very goal-oriented society. I think if we change that to become a process-oriented person, I think it would be giving us far greater results. As with young children, I would want to give 2 things. One is, if you're a farmer, you know that when you have your trees which are young, your plants which are young, your mango trees which are young, you don't the fruit in the first 2-3 years. You actually, when the flower is there, you remove the flower off, or if there is a bud, you actually remove it off so that the tree gets stronger. In a similar way, when kids are 16, 17, 18, if they want to enjoy life, it is like the tree. You will never be able to grow to your full potential if you enjoy life at a young age. At a young age, able to invest in growth, invest in learning. That's the best thing that can happen. Because when you grow, when the tree grows up, you will have bigger fruits. In a similar sense, when the kid goes and becomes a man or a woman, they will have a lot more to enjoy. I think that is very important. On a final note, I would say the role of brahmacharya. I think wrestling and traditional sport, and having gone through a lot and watched and seen people, I do believe that control is very, very important, and the role of brahmacharya is also very important for, for players and everyone alike. I think for me, there's been a great life. I never expected that I would grow this far, I would go this far. As a player, as a coach, there are huge number of people who helped me get here. My parents, people around me have been my biggest source of motivation. Player, as a coach, I didn't have to look at some picture on the wall, but people around me who have actually done work is whom I get inspired by. I would say I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much. It's been such a pleasure talking to you, and I hope that you've kind of found something useful. I wish you all the very best. These are tough times, but as athletes, in times of injury, more than hard work and discipline, it's patience, and not to do anything stupid, which is important. In a similar sense, I think let's stay home, let's stay patient, and let's not do anything which hurts society. Thank you very much, and thank you.